do it in waves, get the first few inches and then go back and get it an hour or two later and an hour or two later after that, so that you're not picking up, each fellow is 15 pounds, because that can wear on you pretty quickly.
Hire some entrepreneurial kid.
Nothing wrong with that. I used to do that. We have Mrs. Greenie. I had to go to her house and do it for free. Otherwise, my mother would be mad at me. But everybody else, I got to charge.
This week on This American Life, teenage girls of America have questions about love, and there is a place where they turn to grown-ups for advice. Famous grown-ups.
I just figured out how to use the effects button, so I'm going to have this whole video in the mirror effect. I got a oh man, I got two heads.
Just what happens when you ask a grown-up. Tonight at 9 on 93.9 FM, WNYC.
WNYC receives support from New York Presbyterian, New York's #1 hospital for the past 16 years, according to the 2016 rankings by U.S. News and World Report. Amazing things are happening here. Learn more at nyp.org. WNYC is a media partner of Strand Bookstore, presenting queer studies and representation in comics. A panel of artists, writers, and academics discussing the changing landscape of comics and influence of LGBTQ creators. March 22nd, strandbooks.com.
Indivisible is a live national conversation about America in a time of change.
I'm very interested in the Russia issue, but at the same time, I'm wondering if it perhaps distracts from other issues.
I'm kind of terrified at the thought that we appointed this woman DeVos, and now everybody kind of shut up about it.
I'm Charlie Sykes. Tune in or call in. Join us Monday through Thursday during the new administration's first 100 days. Indivisible, tonight at 8 on WNYC.
And I will be your indivisible host tonight. We'll talk about healthcare norms. Should health insurance be a right? Should health insurance be a responsibility? Should sick or older people pay more for insurance than others? We'll deal with healthcare norms and take calls from all over the country and have two guests tonight on Indivisible. Join me at 8 p.m. WNYC with your winter storm Stella reports. Karen and Chappaqua, you're on WNYC. Hi, Karen.
Hi, I'm looking out my back window. We've got about 8 inches on the deck. It is still snowing. The flower pots are covered, so that suggests to me it actually is about 8 or 9 inches.
Thank you very much. Rick in West Hills on the island. Rick, you're on WNYC. Hi.
Hi.
So what's happening?
Well, it's raining right now, and we have a total of maybe 4 or 5 inches of snow and an inch of little pelletized ice on top of that.
What did you call it?
Pelletized ice.
What's that word, pelletized?
Pellet.
Oh, pelletized. Oh, pellets of ice. Yes, thank you very much. By the way, I looked up freezing fog, and this is from the AccuWeather site. It says freezing fog occurs when the water droplets that the fog is composed of are supercooled. Supercooled water droplets remain in the liquid state until they come into contact with a surface upon which they can freeze. So it seems like it's somewhere between fog and rain, freezing fog. When the water droplets that the fog is composed of are supercooled, supercooled water droplets remain in the liquid state until they come in contact with a surface upon which they can freeze, according to AccuWeather. And that's what they're reporting for Central Park right now, is freezing fog. I still can't tell from that whether it's falling like rain or whether it's just, how could it be liquid if it's suspended, which is what we think of as fog. But nevertheless, go find out for yourself if you want to walk out your door and you're near Central Park and you can experience freezing fog. Mary Grace in Westport, you're on WNYC. Hi, Mary Grace.
Hi, Brian. I love your show. I'm in Westport and we're getting a lot of snow, but I wondered, could I read a poem that I wrote called Snow Fun? An A-Rod called things off with his girlfriend several months ago. CBS has officially picked up a new Big Bang Theory spin-off series about a young Sheldon Cooper. The show, titled Young Sheldon, will follow a 9-year-old version of the genius character as he attends high school in East Texas. The half-hour comedy will air in the fall. Ian Armitage, who's currently appearing in HBO's Big Little Lies, will star as Sheldon. Jim Parsons will narrate the series as the adult version. When's news time? 11:39.
Usually we never, ever, ever have a sale like this. But for just 3 more weeks, Renewal by Anderson Replacement Windows is having one of our biggest sales. I'm Larry Landis, the local owner of Renewal by Anderson. During our sale, save $300 on every window and $825 on every patio door. And we'll upgrade all your windows to our energy-efficient Smart Sun Glass, all with our instant product rewards. Call before March 31st to get our Smart Sun Glass upgrade and save $300 on every window and $825 on every patio door with no money down, no payments, and no interest for a year. It's Renewal by Anderson's 31-day sale, but now there are just 3 weeks left. Call 1-800-705-7100. 1-800-705-7100. That's 1-800-705-7100.
Offer not available in all areas. Restrictions and conditions apply. Call for license information.
Now more than ever, you need news you can trust. Lock it in. 1010 Wins, New York's #1 all-news station.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning. 29 degrees. It's 11:40 on this Tuesday, March 14th. I'm Susan Pritchard, and here's what's happening. We are not done with this nasty nor'easter yet. A live report coming up from AccuWeather. Metro North suspending service starting at noon, and the travel ban remains in effect in Connecticut. No official decision has been made, but Mayor de Blasio says at this point he thinks school will be open tomorrow. Glad it's a day off from school. Students in Massachusetts were singing Hallelujah, literally. We'll explain. 1010 Wins AccuWeather. The snow mixing with sleet and freezing rain, the winds gusting to 45 miles an hour.
Jerry Recco, the Rangers suffered a home loss in Tampa. The Islanders dropped the affirmative home and home with Carolina. Devils and Jets tonight. Home games for the Knicks and Nets. And the Mets and Yankees continue their spring slate.
This is Andrew O'Day of Bloomberg. Modest retreat for Wall Street today. The Dow is down 29. And if you can afford something at Neiman Marcus, why not buy the whole company?
Wins news time, 11:41. Time for traffic and transit on the ones. Here's Pete Torriello.
As we've been telling you here on 1010 Wins, at 12 noon, they're going to shut down everything on Metro North. Meanwhile, New Jersey Transit trains are still running on the weekend schedule with delays of up to 20 minutes along the Northeast Corridor. Pat says that they are now running on the normal schedule. And the Long Island Railroad says that they, too, are following a normal schedule today, but there may be delays of about 10 to 15 minutes system-wide. Area bridges and tunnels are running very light. Overall travel conditions right now around the city, we are seeing a lot more blacktop, but there's still some roadways where we have a snowpack and then a very thin and slippery layer of ice beneath that. And as you go north and west of the city, the situation becomes a lot more dire. And of course, that is one of the reasons why Metro North will be shutting down at noon today. Our traffic report sponsored by the Empire State Building, where you feel the heart of New York City with breathtaking, unmatched 360-degree views of the big city and beyond. Get your tickets online at EmpireStateBuilding.com. It's open daily until 2 a.m. I'm Pete Torriello on 1010 Wins.
Wins news time, 11:42.
This is an update from the 1010 Wins Storm Center.
Well, this nor'easter is making for dangerous conditions across the area today. 1010 Wins storm coverage begins with our forecast. Here's AccuWeather meteorologist John Pierrick. John.
Yeah, the precipitation across the area wide-ranging. We've got rain over most of central and eastern Long Island now. Temperatures up in the mid and upper 30s. We've got a lot of sleet in and around the city, and then up to the north of the city, Yonkers, White Plains, Stamford, Bridgeport, mostly sleet at this point. Get to the north and west at 287, we're seeing mostly snow now, and that's where we're going to see the totals of 1 to 2 feet with this storm system. The storm shifted a little bit farther west than anticipated, so totals cut down by the sleet in and around the city. Still 6 to 12 inches from the city on to the north and west, the immediate northwest suburbs. Again, accumulating snow pretty much done over Long Island and down across coastal New Jersey. But we do have to worry about the strong winds still, gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. There could be some power outages, and we're still going to have coastal flooding and beach erosion to deal with here into tonight. Susan?
Well, let's head over to the Jeep Storm Desk for our Juliet Papa.
All right, thank you, Susan. Mayor de Blasio Recco speaking live on 1010 Wins this morning says nothing official yet, but school possibly resumes tomorrow. It was an off day today, although the accumulations weren't as expected. Conditions were lousy and continue to be. Some people were grumbling about the elevated subway service being canceled.
As you know, the MTA is run by the state of New York, and that was a decision made by the governor and the state. I think it was the right decision given the information that they had at the time.
Because higher accumulations were predicted. So as of noon, meantime, Metro North service is suspended. The MTA's Ronnie Hakeem updated us on other transport.
We have bus service in every borough. We are not running our double articulated buses because they don't do well in the snow and ice, which is the situation we have in the city. But we are meeting all of the demand for bus service.
And she's hoping for a regular rush hour tomorrow. At local airports, a different story. 3,300 flights canceled. But Broadway shows are up and running, so go enjoy yourself. I'm Julia Papa, 1010 Wins at the Jeep Storm Desk.
And it's 29 degrees and snowing in New York. The humidity 96%. The winds are northeast at 15 now, gusting to 31 miles an hour. 29 going up to 32 in Midtown. Winds news time 11:45. Now 1010 Wins Sports. Here's Jerry Recco.
All right, Susan, and of course we can start with the spring baseball because the weather is so bad here, but they're playing baseball in Florida, of course. You've got the Mets taking on the Astros, Jacob deGrom to start, and the Yankees facing the Rays. Luis Severino will make the start for the Bombers. Some notes for tonight with this weather. It does look like the Devil game is going to be postponed. It's supposed to take on the Jets, but the weather, as we know, of course, here in New York has been miserable. Last night, the Hurricanes beat the Islanders 8-4. Those two teams again tonight in Carolina completing the home-and-home series. Lightning beat the Rangers 3-2. Peter Budaj making 26 saves there. NCAA tournament tonight. We'll start a couple of games. Mount St. Mary's will play New Orleans. Kansas State taking on Wake Forest. The NIT tonight as well does get underway. Syracuse home for UNC Greensboro. In terms of the NBA, Knicks home for the Pacers. The sad news for the Knicks, former radio and TV analyst John Andres passed away at the age of 78. That's hosting the Thunder tonight. And orphan Charles Barkley, who was on WFAN this morning, not happy with the fact that NBA players take time off, games off, so they can rest. And he has an idea for how fans can make their presence felt when the superstars do sit.
These guys make $10, $20, $30 million a year. They don't respect the fans. I think what the fans need to do is this: we're not coming to any games, or we're not going to watch any games every time y'all do that.
Wouldn't that be an interesting concept if it ever actually played itself out? Sports 15 and 45 around the clock. Jerry Recco, 1010 Wins Sports.
Wins news time 11:46. Langer Pasteri is the gold standard in radiology.